Good evening. Thank you for joining us. You're watching Sunday Edition. I am Yvonne Mukondenis. Bugele Maposa will join us with part of the bulletin from Montrose.
It is a beautiful evening indeed. I'm Liam Bernard with Peaceway Shamanika on the sign language. These are our leading stories tonight. What is set for the burial of national hero or Brigadier General retired Michael Chaminika at the National Shrine tomorrow.
In our Amen African segment, we celebrate the first woman to chair the African Union Commission, Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma.
And our This and That feature, Yvonne, something to look forward to. It's all about twins and
Is
their
it?
caregivers.
Okay,
Absolutely.
sounds interesting. Looking forward to that one. And in sport, Highlanders claim bragging rights over Bulawayo Chiefs with a 2-0 win in a thrilling PSL match.
These and other stories to come, but we start off with the main news.
Vice President General retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga has encouraged Zimbabwean youths to draw inspiration from their Nicaraguan counterparts to propel nation building. On the sidelines of the 45th anniversary celebrations of the Sandinista Revolution, Vice President Chiwenga expressed his admiration of Nicaraguan youth's enthusiasm and respect for their national heritage. He noted that Zimbabwean youths could learn valuable lessons from their Nicaraguan peers about loving and building their country.
Celebrating the victory of the Sandinista Revolution, it means a lot, of jubilation, but there was order. They followed what their leadership was telling them. I was so impressed by the youth in the manner they respect their day. Our youth have to learn to love their country, and that the country can only be built by the youth. And this was also the emphasis of the president, that the youth must build, this country, Nicaragua. And back at home, we also say the youth are the future. They are both the future to build the economy. They are the future leaders of tomorrow, and they must learn from what the old are doing and copy, and then make Zimbabwe great.
Vice President Chiwenga stressed that Zimbabwean youths should recognize their potential as nation builders. President Emmerson Mnangagwa's administration has created an enabling environment for youths to participate in various sectors of the economy, including coming up with a national youth policy to ensure their active participation in national development. The youth policy is aligned with regional and international frameworks such as the African Youth Charter and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Abigail Tembo, ZBC News, Managua.
And now all is set for the burial of a national hero, General retired Michael Chaminika at the National Heroes Acre tomorrow. We get more in the following report.
The body of National Hero Brigadier General retired Michael Chaminuka has been flown to Harare this morning. Yesterday, the body was taken to his rural home in Kani Homestead in Urungwe West and laid instead at his farm, Falliot Farm in Urungwe North. He was sent off by the provincial leadership, which include the Permanent Secretary for National and West Provincial Affairs and Devolution Minister Jaji and ZANU PF Provincial Chairperson Comrade Mary Mulispa.
Program yakapa zvakanaka zvikuru, especially tichitenda government kuti yakatipa mukana wekuti tionekane namuchakavu wedu vaChaminuka. Takaenda kumusha kwavakaberekerwa kuri kuvhute rwavo, vanhu vakaungana, tikauya kuno kufamba pamwe ndo pamusha pavo, vanhu vakaungana uye tapiwa mabhazi ekuti vanhu vatevere kuHarare.
Isu seurungu zvakare tinonzwa kuremekedzwa nechiitiko ichi nekuti vanga vari munhu anga ane rudo, vanga vari munhu wevanhu, vanga vane nguva zvakare nekunge vachiona kuti musangano kufamba negwara. Saka tarasikirwa chose, asi mukurasikirwa pane chakanaka chatobuda kuti tapiwa ruremekedzo rwegamba.
Meanwhile, the body of Brigadier General retired Michael Chaminuka is now in Harare ahead of burial at the National Shrine on Monday. Upon arrival at Charles Gumbo Barracks from Folliot Farm in Karoi this Sunday morning, the body was taken to the family home in Glenlone, where it will lie in state. Director Legal Services in the Ministry of Home Affairs and Cultural Heritage, Mrs. Priska Madziviridze, confirmed all logistical arrangements are now in place for the burial of the national hero.
From here, the body will lie instated at the family home in Glenlawn. Burial is set for tomorrow at the National Heroes Acre, and mourners are expected to be gathered by 7 at the National Heroes Acre.
Brigadier General retired Chaminuka died on Saturday last week after a short illness and was declared a national hero. He is survived by his wife, Lillian Chaminuka, and 5 children.
The Second Republic industrialization drive is in motion, with consumer goods distribution firm and wheat milling company Mega Market on a rapid expansion drive. This comes at a time the company's $25 million United States plant is expected to reach 100% capacity utilization by the end of this month.
Tare-based wholesale firm and refineries flour milling plant is now operating at 85% capacity utilization. SADC Industrialization Week presents opportunities for the firm, whose authorities have ambitions to explore the export market after satisfying local demand.
When we started up, our capacity was around 66%, then we increased to around 85% where we are now. And we are currently working on a project to increase the capacity by another 15%. And hopefully that will be done by end of July. The capacity of our mill, the rated capacity is 300 tons per day.
The expansion of the company has generated employment, with the firm also working on a 1,500 kilowatt solar plant.
We employ a total of 740 Mega Market direct employees and 150 contracted employees in total. So the directors have a plan to invest in a 1,500 kilowatt or 1.5 megawatts solar plant, and we expect that in the next 6 months.
The firm believes the SADC Industrialization Week will give further impetus to industrial growth by exposing local companies to foreign markets and lure more investments.
From the SADC point of view, having all the SADC countries working together can only sustain and give you growth. Right? So, in other words, the benefits to all countries involved is sustainability and economic growth.
The SADC Industrialization Week, from the 28th of this month to the 2nd of August, comes at a time Zimbabwe has defied 2 decades of sanctions to resuscitate and grow an industry. Kenya Stifushe, ZBC News, Mutare.
Mashonaland East Province says it has a lot to benefit from the upcoming SADC Summit to be held in the country next month, which is set to be preceded by the SADC Industrialization Week in Harare at the end of this month.
Located just 75 kilometers away from the capital Harare, Mashonaland East Province says it is strategically positioned to benefit from the hosting of the SADC Summit next month. Endowed with rich mineral deposits, favorable climate for agriculture, and some of the biggest water bodies, Provincial Minister of State Senator Polonium Jarengu is confident the province will shine as it showcases its endowments at the Industrialization Week.
It is a milestone for us as a nation to host 16 leaders from the SADC region. And the benefits that we are going to derive, you know very well that there's going to be an industrial week in Harare, and us as provinces, that's the chance for us to go and showcase the opportunities that we have. As a province with a lot of water bodies, we are looking forward to showcase what we have in terms of agricultural opportunities in the province. And also in the mining sector, you know, we have a number of base minerals in our province.
Senator Mjarengwi believes incoming chairman, President Emmerson Mnangagwa's diplomatic prowess is expected to benefit the SADC region, especially in areas with conflict such as the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Our president is very good on engagement and re-engagement. You can see the benefits that we are benefiting now from his engagement and re-engagement. We have witnessed a lot of investment coming into the country. And his diplomatic prowess, we are going to witness a lot of peace stability in the region. So we are happy that the chairmanship of the SADC is coming to Zimbabwe.
The province says it is also a key factor in the region as it borders with Mozambique, while three of the country's biggest highways, Harare-Nyamapanda, Harare-Mutare and Harare-Beit Bridge, leading to a number of regional countries, pass through the province.
Mashonaland East is going to contributing to the SADC summit immensely. One, we are close to Harare. By us being close to Harare, we are going to also assist in the accommodation of our visitors, and also on the exhibition of our opportunities from Mashonaland East. We hope the visitors who are coming are going to pick a number of projects from Mashonaland East.
The 44th ordinary session of the SADC heads of state and government, set for next month, will be held under the theme Promoting Innovation to Unlock Opportunities for Sustained Economic Growth and Development Towards an Industrialized SADC. Gerald Sasa, ZBC News, Marondera.
Government says it is satisfied with the progress at the Geopomona waste-to-energy project.
In an era dominated by environmental challenges and escalating energy demand, the Geopomona waste-to-energy project has emerged as a beacon of hope, with notable progress being made in the establishment of a sorting plant, hazardous waste plant, and wastewater purification and processing plant. This emerged during an assessment tour of the project by Environment, Climate and Wildlife Minister Dr. Stembi Sonyoni, ahead of the 44th SADC Heads of State and Government Summit set for next month.
We have constructed so far Weighbridge, where we are going to register all the trucks coming here with waste. We constructed the batch plant, where we are going to make our own concrete here. We managed to construct the landfill facilities, solid waste and liquid waste, where we are going to put our solid waste and liquid waste on those landfills. We've managed to construct the sorting plant, where we are going to separate waste and other material at the sorting plant. We managed also to construct the waste-to-energy plant. So we are ready for SADC to showcase what Geopomona is doing here.
Minister Nyon highlighted the significance of harnessing the power of technology to transform waste into a valuable resource.
I'm very, very impressed. I did not expect such good work to have taken place. And I think Geopomona has a vision of not just doing waste, but having business recreation in these sites, just to show that, you know, a dump site can be turned into a site that could also input into the national development.
SADC leaders and various dignitaries to next month's regional summit are expected to tour the project, a first of its kind in Southern Africa. John Nandara, ZBC News, Harare.
The ZANU PF youths in Mashonaland East province have added their voice to growing calls for President Emmerson Mnangagwa to go beyond his current term to ensure the fulfillment of Vision 2030.
The resolution to allow President Emmerson Mnangagwa to remain in office until 2030 was made at a Mashonaland East Youth League inter-district meeting held in Marondera this Sunday.
So tinoda kuti machef pamuri kudzokera ku national takazvinzwa zvawakataura chef kana constitution totogona kuverenga toiziva kuti inotaura kuti kudii, asi zvazvinozoita ndezvekuti pamwe pacho vhiri rikange raiswa pamotokari nyangwe rakanzi rinofamba 2 years wozoona kuti 2 years dzakwana but vhiri riritsva pamwe pacho unogona kuzoona kuti dai tangoramba tiinaro tasvika rwendo tozonochinja kata mberi. Saka taona kufamba kwapresident wedu baba Mnangagwa zvese zvavari kuita tikuzviona zvekufamba zvataurwa nevana ndozvanga vachingoedza kutaura chete kuti vision napresident inongoda kuti tizongoyambuka tiinawo vachiionawo tozovabatawo ruoko kuti chef haiwa vision yamataura takaiona iyi zvinhu zvafamba zvakanaka.
ZANU PF's Deputy Secretary for Youth Affairs, Comrade John Paradza, commended the Provincial Youth League for the resolution which lays bare their support for President Mnangagwa's leadership.
Tanyanya kufara nema resolutions ekuti imi muri kuti isu se Youth League basa redu is to defend the party and to defend the president. Nekufamba nemuono wa president we vision 2030 kuti patinosvika 2030 ndo pamawa minister wedu we local government vachiti vakatopuwa directive na president kuti hongu iko zvino minda vanhu vakapinda kuminda mayouth ariko asati akugona kuindawo kunotora minda asiwo mukana wokuti muyuthi mumwe nemumwe achive nepaanogara achimukawo achiziva kuti apa ndipo pamba pangu. Saka tinoda kuti titende president baba vaMnangagwa.
ZANU PF Secretary for Youth Affairs Comrade Tinoma Chakaere and ZANU PF Provincial Chairperson Comrade Daniel Garwe echoed the same sentiments.
Inini kana ndichifamba nenyaya ndoda kunyatsoteerera kuti nyaya iri kubva papi iri kuenda papi kuitira kuti kana ndava kuzoifambira ndoifambira mazviro kwazvo. Ndizvoka vaMnangagwa vakauya nechirongwa chevision 2030 migagwa iri kugadzirwa zvese zviri kugadzirwa. Saka ndinoshuvira kuti zvichemo zvenyu zvamunenge muchitaura mukataura ndikateerera ndoenda nazvo ndoakunotaura kuti baba vaMnangagwa zvakataurwa nevana ndezvizvizvi. Asi the voice of the people is what? Voice of God. Saka baba ndo zvapo vana vari kuti baba vaMnangagwa 2030 ndizvo here ndo zvamaitaura pano. Mambondidzwawo ndambouya nenyaya yayo pano yabva kunani. Saka ndakutongoita nekuda kwokuti imi ndima ndindiita kuti ndinosvitsa kwazvinofanira kunge zviita sei vanhu vataura.
Pamunomuka pamunenge muchitaura hurukuro dzenyu mozoti gare gare zivai kuti vanenge vachipo vaMnangagwa.
The resolution comes after President Mnangagwa recently announced that he will be retiring upon completion of his second term in line with the country's constitution. Gerald Sasa, ZBC News, Marondera.
Zimbabwe and South Africa have pledged to continue strengthening existing bilateral ties for the mutual benefit of the two countries.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Trade, Ambassador Frederick Shava, met for the first time with South Africa's newly appointed Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Ronald Lamola, with the two discussing more areas of cooperation between the two nations. The two met on the sidelines of the 45th Ordinary Session of the African Union Executive Council in Accra, Ghana.
They were so keen to congratulate him and to wish both of us very good working relations as we go ahead. We have a lot of issues of mutual interest, and we are trying to make sure that we don't lose the sight of this mutual interest.
Minister Lamola said they had fruitful discussions on areas of mutual interest.
It was a very fruitful meet and greet on issues of mutual interest to renew our very friendly bilateral relations with Zim. So this was indeed a brotherly meeting, and we look forward to work together in various multilateral platforms and at a bilateral level.
Zimbabwe and South Africa are more than neighbors, as the two countries share a rich history of cooperation and cultural ties. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News.
The First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, who is also the country's health and childcare ambassador, commissioned a newly renovated maternity wing at Warren Park, a polyclinic in the capital, this Saturday.
Harare's Warren Park community is set to enjoy a new lease of life after the official opening of a newly renovated maternity wing by the country's Health and Childcare Ambassador, First Lady Dr. Zilia Mnangagwa, this Saturday. The project is a collaborative act between Amai Mnangagwa's philanthropic arm, Angel of Hope Foundation, and the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Warren Park. The project is aimed at reducing maternal mortality. As part of the refurbishment, a new water tank and a 10 kV solar system were fitted, walls were painted, and unkempt trees were trimmed. The clinic also received television sets and refrigerators through the partnership between Angel of Hope Foundation and the Seventh-day Adventist Church. From Warren Park Polyclinic, Dr. Mnangagwa's next port of call was Warren Park 1 Primary School, where she addressed scores of Seventh-day Adventist Church members and other members from the community. Dr. Mnangagwa handed over an assortment of medical equipment including wheelchairs, blankets, bed sheets, bins, compressor nebulizers, baby pant scales, hanging scales, maternity pads, drip stands, bathroom scales, infusion pumps, and bandages, among other medical equipment. The First Lady also extended her hand to the SDA Church with 6 tons of maize meal to be distributed to the elderly. Addressing the gathering, Amai Mnangagwa acknowledged the community programs being spearheaded by Warren Park Seventh-day Adventist Church, which are impacting positively on the community. She applauded the church for its vision to establish a rehabilitation center for drug addicts, which will go a long way in giving them hope. She also commended the church for taking a more proactive role in supporting the country's efforts in eradicating drug and substance abuse.
It is my fervent hope that both the youths and adults uphold the highest degree of moral integrity and avoid the dangers caused by drug and substance abuse. I implore all youth to also abstain from any acts of sexual immorality. I urge all of us here today to shun dangerous drugs like mbanje, mtoriro, public smoking, and many other vices. Alcoholism leads to health deterioration and foolish sexual decisions, which often lead to unwanted pregnancies, indecent sexual material in the form of videos, magazines, music, and messages quicken our children to immoral practices which often result in sexually transmitted infections. I am an advocate of education for our children and to the young people. I challenge you to learn and acquire a life skill so that you are not idle, as idleness breeds evil intents. I have a remedial skills training center for children working and living in the streets who are fighting addiction through rehabilitative measures that I and some well-wishers installed. Listening to their stories brings pain to my heart, which is why I'm here, because I do not take this fight against drugs lightly, because I'm in it as well.
Dr. Mnangagwa, who implored the community to be good stewards of the new facility, also rallied women not to destroy young lives by selling cakes laced with drugs to young children.
Warren Park Polyclinic has come to you, vagari varimo, not imi chete, asina vose chero chapfuura mugwagwa vachauya papolyclinic. Zvakuda kuti isu tichichengeta nzvimbo iyi nemwoyo unoda kuitira kuti vanouya kuzopaza nevanouya kuzoba tivaone kuti vari kupinda nekupi. Harisi basa remupurisa chete kuti mapurisa acho ndiwo ngaafambe azotionera. Isu tatova mapurisa ekuchengetedza nzvimbo yedu iyi. Ndopotoona vamwana mai vanobika zvimakeke zvinoenda kuzvikoro zvakaiswa zvinodhaka, zvinobata kamwana kari muECD, chitarisa kuti kuuraya kwakadini. Wauraya mwana womumwe wako, kana watesa chibhanzi ichocho chikeke waisa mutoriro, wauraya.
A drug survivor, Tondere Maposa, who was hooked for 15 years, gave testimonials of how drugs negatively impacted his life before highlighting how he became transformed in his fight against the scourge.
While I was taking crystal meth, ndakatanga kupenga, ndakatenderera maraigwa eBiritsi, ndichiti kune vanhu nematambudziko angu, ndakafa, iyo zvinezvi ndachipoko. Ndakatanga kuprofita. I started doing so many things. I think many times in the medical field, tirikuona vanhu vachitaura kuti vakuoneswa. Madrugs anopa vanhu kuti vafunge kuti vakuona zvinhu zvisiripo.
Youngsters from the SDA church known as Pathfinders also made a clarion call for their peers to shun the act through speeches.
A report from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration reveals that over 2 million of youth aged 17 to 24 misuse prescription drugs. The consequences are dire.
Minister of Home Affairs and Cultural Heritage, Honorable Kazimbe Kazimbe, who lauded the initiative by the Angel of Hope Foundation and SDA Church, also highlighted how drugs have affected the country's most productive age group.
Drugs and substance abuse is a disaster, a terror that is posing a threat to humankind. It is a major contributor to crime, poverty, reduced production, unemployment, dysfunction of family life, and the escalation of chronic diseases.
Seventh-day Adventist Church leadership commended Dr. Mnangagwa for numerous initiatives in the health sector and the promotion of traditional dishes which have the right nutrients, key in boosting people's immune systems.
Your Excellency, your noble thrust of calling the nation to go back to traditional health foods is admirable. Such a call to retain our lost, if not forgotten heritage, which is our traditional food, which the Lord gave us, certainly that deserves appreciation. As the Seventh-day Adventist Church, we uphold the health message. We believe that in the beginning it's God who gave men diet.
Warden Park Polyclinic's Dr. Obed Mpambo, who is also the district medical officer, expressed gratitude to Dr. Mnangagwa for a commitment towards ensuring that women's health needs are met.
Kuona kuti amai vari kutibatsira kuutano hwemadzimai patakamira panapa pamaternity unit, and even when we toured the maternity wing mukati matiri kubva she expressed kuti vane utano hwemadzimai pamwoyo pavo, and tinoda kupa kutenda nenyaya iyoyo.
The newly refurbished facility adds to numerous interventions undertaken by Amai Mnangagwa in areas of maternal and child health care provision. Colette Msanyera, ZBC News, Harare.
Time for us to cross over to our Montrose studios where Sibuyele Maposa is on standby. Good evening, Sibuyele.
Thank you very much, Yvonne. Good evening, Zimbabwe. Let's carry on with the bulletin. Upscaling mining productivity to propel the national development agenda took center stage during a 2-day induction workshop for the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Mines and Mining Development held in Bulawayo at the weekend.
The engagement sought to capacitate the committee to effectively discharge its responsibility of overseeing one of the most important sectors of the economy. Speaker of the National Assembly, Advocate Jacob Mdenda, noted that the committee should work closely with the Ministry of Mines and Mining Development to champion beneficiation of minerals to grow the economy.
The mining sector accounts for 60% of the export receipts. For this reason, your committee is enjoined to collaborate with the Ministry of Mines and Mining Development in ensuring that innovative mining strategies are employed in order to upscale the mining productivity, which should enable Zimbabwe attain greater heights of economic prosperity.
Mines and Mining Development Minister Honorable Winston Chitando revealed that exploration activities are being prioritized to expand the country's mineral resource base.
Mineral exploration and mining development. To this end, we're actively promoting exploration activities to discover new mineral deposits and expand the country's mineral resource base.
Exploration activities, mineral beneficiation, and value addition are central towards attainment of mining sector targets and Vision 2030. Lisa Masuku, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
The Second Republic's inclusive development agenda is on course with an empowering community gardening project in Makoni Central, benefiting over 20 families.
The Nyahukwe community in Makoni Central Ward 20 has developed a 6-hectare gardening project through the Presidential Boho program. The gardening project, benefiting 26 families, is among a number of empowerment programs being implemented in the area to transform livelihoods.
Hapana chinopinda muno zvese takazvipiwa, tine boho, tine matengi, mvura inouya yakakwana,
kune masola uko taive takarima madomasi akatibatsira zvikuru.
Toda kutenda President vaMnangagwa wakatipa garden rinoiri. Vanhu vari kukwanisa kubatsirikana kubhadharawo fizi vachirima sezvamuri kuona mugarden munomu kuti vanhu vari kurima, mune maonyeni.
Kune huku dzida kuuyazve mwedzi uno, pane zvenguruwe dzatoda kunge titangufapoze kuti dzitambire mangwana.
Meanwhile, the political leadership addressed the villagers in Makoni Central Ward 20, expressing gratitude to them for resoundingly voting for President Mnangagwa and ruling party candidates.
Takagadzirwa maroads, mukatarisa road yedu inongogadzirwa every time and again. Inenge ichingogadzirwa, mukatarisa vanoenda kuDombore Mbizi, maroads anga achigadzirwa. Muri kuzviona anditika macomputers akaenda kumaschools akawandisa kuno. Minister vabva vati ivo regai ndikupiwe dzimwe nguruwe 4 mukutanga maproject yatiri kutanga maprojects atakutanga kuita. Mandizwisa here? Toda kutengai nekuvhotera kwamakaita vaMnangagwa. Mukandivhoterawo inini zvakare, mukavhotera kanzela wangu.
Ndati rega nditore mukana uno kuti ndikutaurire hurongwa huri kuitika hwatatumwa naPresident. Makaisirwa zvimwe zvibhora naPresident Mnangagwa. Taakuchitarisana nekuti rigi ridzoke zvakare inonzi Presidential Boho Drilling Program. Pachange pachiiswa anonzi village business units. Saka rigi yezvino riri kuMakoni West. Richibva kuWest rinojamba roya kupi? Ndapiwa zvakare imwe message naPresident Mnangagwa kuti ndichauya zvakare nasekuru nyika. Tine hurongwa hwekukupai nhiyo huku Presidential Boho.
The engagement also assured villagers that the grain distribution program will cover all communities to ensure no one dies of hunger. Kenya's Diffusion, ZBC News, Makoni.
In our I'm an African feature, we profile Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma. Described as a trailblazer in the discourse on women emancipation, Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma is one of the iconic female figures who stood in the firm fight against the apartheid regime in South Africa. Today we celebrate the first woman to chair the African Union Commission.
South Africa's road to freedom is incomplete without mentioning the role played by Dr. Nkosazana Clarice Dlamini Zuma in dismantling the apartheid regime. Born on the 27th of January in 1949, Dr. Dlamini Zuma was educated in the former Natal province, where as a student she became involved in the Black Consciousness movement through the South African Students' Organization. Between 1976 and 1990, she lived in exile, primarily in the United Kingdom and Swaziland, where she practiced medicine and engaged in political activism. It was no surprise that she went on to serve in every cabinet of post-apartheid South Africa. Dr. Dlamini Zuma was the Minister of Health under President Nelson Mandela, and during her tenure, she desegregated the health system and championed radical health reforms which introduced access to free basic health care. She went on to become the Minister of Foreign Affairs for 10 years under Presidents Thabo Mbeki and Hlalema Mohlanthe. During the first term of President Jacob Zuma, she was Minister of Home Affairs, in which portfolio she was credited with turning around a dysfunctional department. During President Cyril Ramaphosa's term, she was briefly the Minister of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities. She also served as Minister for Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation with responsibility for the National Planning Commission before becoming Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, in which capacity she had a prominent role in regulating South Africa's lockdown during the COVID-19 pandemic. Dr. Dlamini Zuma also held other influential positions on the continent after she was elected chairperson of the African Union Commission by the heads of states in July 2012. She is the first woman to lead the continental institution, including its predecessor, the Organization of African Unity. It was also the first time since the formation of the continental body that a woman and a candidate from Southern Africa was successfully elected to the influential post. Dr. Dlamini Zuma has also been a member of the ANC's National Executive Committee since the early 1990s. She retired from active politics earlier this year and is currently the Chancellor of the University of Limpopo. Her career as an activist and politician is testimony to her indestructible and courageous spirit.
And that'll be all from the Montrose News Desk. I am Sibigela Maposa. Sunday edition will now take a break. Returning from our Pocket Hill studios where Yvonne and Leanne will take us through the rest of the bulletin. From this end, good evening.
Gastronomy, yeah, to be traditionally tourism regional for Ramon gastronomy. First of its kind gastronomy. Gama vidungo gastronomy. Gama Zimbabwe gastronomy. Covid force gastronomy. Abatizo tikuhosta. Indetenge digital star. Kutofamba digital Azidombo Costa.
Zimbabwe ne UN Tourism zvichaita musangano wekutanga we-UN Regional Forum on Gastronomy Tourism mu Africa kubva musi wa26 kusvika 28 Chikunguru 2024 kuVictoria Falls muno muZimbabwe. Uyu muchero wemudzimai wemutungamiri wenyika Dr. Oxelia Mnangagwa kuburikidza nekushanda nesimba mukusimudzira kudya kwechivanhu kwedu muZimbabwe. Tigashire Africa yose, titambire United Nations Tourism, Zimbabwe yopembera.
A warm welcome back and many thanks to Sibokele. It's always a pleasure seeing you on the other side of our screen at our Montrose studios. And now, Yvonne, any experiences with twins?
Oh, yes. Funny enough, one of my best friends is actually a twin, but they're fraternal twins. So she has a twin brother.
So do they wear the same clothes, being a boy and a girl?
They're grown. They don't wear the same clothes. But I feel like because one is female and one is male, it would be difficult to just coordinate on the clothes. But on the guy's wedding, the twin sister was the what? The best man's
girl.
Yes, exactly.
So she wore a suit, I presume.
She wore a suit. She wore a suit.
Okay, and names maybe?
Their names, the guy is Takuzwa and the female is Tafazwa. So it's Takuzwa and Tafazwa Sakokwanya.
Well, there you have it, Takuzwa and Tafazwa. It's all about twins tonight. Where it takes us to our next story. Having a twin sibling can be fascinating or actually perhaps annoying experience.
Yeah, siblings can be annoying.
Imagine sharing your life with someone who looks just like you with common interests, common tastes, and spends most of their life around you. Well, our This and That feature explores the life of twins and their caregivers as well.
Let's take a listen. Yeah.
When Mrs. Editor Ziwome of Chiweshe fell pregnant, she prepared to give birth to one child until a visit to Howard Hospital 8 months later revealed she was carrying twins.
Ndakutoenda kumba ndasvikoudzawo baba kuti zvanzi kwaita matwins. Baba apa chimbo chekuti vabatikane baba vakafara asi ini ndainzwa kubatikana kuti vana ava ndonovapfekedzei. Asi vazozvarwa vana vai ndakazoona kuti vana ava vaunogona kuchengeta asi mukuvachengeta imomo mune zvakawanda zvaunenge uchisangana nazvo zvokuti zvinhu zvavo zvine zvidiwa zviviri.
There are mixed sentiments about raising twins, with some families facing insurmountable challenges while others find them as a blessing.
Upenyu hwamatwinzi makuru atikaita isusu ngwakaoma kana chikuru chako cheko zvinhu zvaitombosunga tichitomborova tichitodii tichitotsvaga umari tichibatsira navabereki kuti vabereki vedu vanga ari pfuwa mukurarama kwavo kunyanya pazvinhu zvekupfeka kudii pakufarawo nevamwewo hataitobatikana singaite nekuti tisina zvakakwana. Pamba panokuwanika mari kumbokwanisa kuonesa munhu hwana saka ipapo sematwinzi tikwanisa kuti makwanisa kudzokera kumashure muburira nekurongwa unge ida kuti panguva iyoyo kuchikoro taizongonyora pakasiyana makaenda kubvambomirawo.
Kuva mubereki wematwinzi zvinofadza chaizvo nokuti nyangwe mukana inouya akawanda kungonzi baba tu muarea afana ndinoita zvekutengesa magroceries matakshop itori marketing unonge uchitoitwa iyoyo ndaipa baba tu ende vanhu vanotenga vanotoziva kutoti vana tu vacho vanoda kudya.
Vanotungamirira zvikora havanzwisisi ukaenda uchiti ndine dambudziko ndaonawo mari yemwana 1 rimwe ndozobhadhara vanokuti unza mari yese yakakwana. Kana ari mabhuku anenge achida kushandisa pachikoro vanoti unza yese yakakwana.
The Twins Association of Zimbabwe, founded by twin siblings, Mayor and lawyer Katona, understands the needs of twins and is working to empower twins.
Tauya kuzosangana nematwins emuno mumasendra tichida kukurudzirana kupanana zvirauro kwete howe. Upenyu hwematwins hunozikana kuti hwakarema sei kana machallenges anosangana nematwins anozikana neavo chete vanosangana nematwins kana kuti vanogara nematwins. It's a blessing from God. Asi iri coupled with ma challenges. Isikuzotizosarudzwa kuti vatungamiriri weSADC anonzi SADC Twins Association inyaya yekukura kubva mumusha. Kukuti muZimbabwe muno mukura kwayaita ndokwakonzera kuti tigone kurecognizwawo nedzimwe nyika even necontinent. Saka vanhu vari kuzvitambira nemufaro mukuru uye vari kubatsiridzirana uye kubatsiridzika mumaprojects akasiyana siyana.
People often wonder, how do twins decide on what to wear and why do they often fall sick at the same time?
Zvatine tichida sitowanzofara zvinhu zvakafanana chaitirwa uyu ndotoda kuchiitirwa atengerwawo zvatengerwa ndofanira kuita tochitengerwa.
Tinotaurirana tingatopfeka chii taona nasapfeke zvakati tinototaurirana and sometimes ukaona zvanetsa mama panozopindura kuti aiwa chipfeka zvakati.
Mumwe akarwara mumwe anorwarawo ya kuna vamwe zviri kwasi kune isusu aiwa takatosiyana kuti tindakakamurwa izvo zvinowanza kuitika kune matwins anenge asina kukamurwa kuti problem asangane nemwe mutwins inesangana nemwe mutwins.
Statistics from the Twins Association of Zimbabwe show there are at least 500,000 people who are twins, triplets or multiple birth children living in Zimbabwe. One hopes they'll leverage the unity of purpose for their common benefit. Tapiwa Machemedze, ZBC News, Mazowe.
Must be quite an experience having twins or being a twin. Let us know your experiences on our Facebook page, ZBC News Online. Now, have you ever wondered the process that actually goes into making the shoes that you're wearing? Well, in a science and technology feature tonight, we explore a new technology that has been discovered by a Gweru shoe manufacturer.
Now, the polyurethane pouring machine is one of the latest technologies that has revolutionized the production of industrial and school shoes in the country.
Polyurethane pouring machine used for manufacturing safety shoes and summer shoe soles is transfigured production of industrial shoes at Bata Shoe Company. The machine comprises critical components including a low-pressure pouring system and other systems for hydraulic oil heating, AC drive control, microcomputer measuring data control, and a cooling system.
The chemical is poured into the mold to conform to the mold. The mold carries the size and all the brand name. Then It runs for 3 minutes. As you can hear, the siren from the background is indicating that the process is done. Then we remove the shoe from the mold and the cycle repeats itself. So this is how we do it. As you can see, he's now retrieving the shoe from the mold. So the process is now final. Here we are. We have the shoe now.
Apart from saving the much-needed foreign currency, the machine comes with several advantages in the shoe-making industry. The machine can produce 12 pairs of shoes in 7 minutes. It has helped in creating 26 jobs at the company. The polyurethane pouring machine dovetails with the government's industrialization drive under the National Development Strategy 1. Tafara Chikumira, ZABC News, Gweru.
That's it for SNT. We're off to a break. Join us when we return with more. Now in sports, Bulawayo Giants Highlanders piled pressure on title-chasing teams in the top half with a convincing 2-0 win over city rivals Bulawayo Chiefs in a thrilling Castle Premier Soccer League match at Babafield Stadium this Sunday.
The city rivals entered the tie with confidence after securing impressive victories in the previous round of fixtures. It was, however, Highlanders who drew first blood when Marvin Sibanda scored the opener 42 minutes into the first half. Peter Mudowa doubled the lead, leaving Bulawayo Chiefs struggling to find their footing. Despite their efforts, Bulawayo Chiefs could not unleash their signature ninja style, failing to find the back of the net. In other matches played this Sunday, Harare Giants Dynamos secured a hard-fought 1-0 win over Wange at the Colliery. Hirantals edged Caps United 1-0 at Rufaro Stadium, while Manika Diamonds and Tel 1 played out a goalless draw at Sakova Stadium. Anna Shemurambedzi, ZABC News, Harare.
Meanwhile, Chapungu Queens secured a crucial 3-1 victory over Faith Drive in a Women Premier Soccer League match at Chisamba Ground in Mutare today.
With 30 points, Chapungu Queens remain behind league leaders Hirantals Queens, who have the same tally of points but with a significant goal difference. The win ensures the Chapungu Queens stay in contention for the top spot. Black Rhinos and Correctional Queens, both with the 27 points, are also close behind with a game in hand each. They could potentially join the title race with a win in their upcoming matches. In other matches to conclude round 11, Hope Academy edged Setera P Harare Queens 3-2, while Maningi Youth Academy thrashed MSU Queens 6-1. Anna Shemrombezi, ZABC News, Harare.
Preparations for the Northern Region Futsal League season are now at an advanced stage, with the 16 Views tournament held this Sunday signaling the return of five-a-side football at Stoddard Netball Complex in Mbare. The tournament also coincided with the SADC Summit Under-12 Awareness Contest.
Teams flexed their muscle this Sunday as the Northern Region Futsal League showcased what to expect in the 2024-2025 season in a pre-season tournament. The authorities of the league were thrilled with the competition on display.
We are now developing. You can see these age groups from the streets.
In terms of sponsorship, a number of teams which have affiliated to this league, we can tell there's some improvement. And even some of the players taking part in this league, we can say we have really improved taking from last year.
About 200 meters away from the league matches, upcoming footballers yet a chance to exhibit their talents at the SADC Summit Under-12 Awareness Tournament. The two-day tournament featured 10 teams with 34 matches being played by the Under-12s and the Under-10s, with exceptional talent being showcased.
As we are looking forward to the SADC Summit that is to take place in Zimbabwe in the near few weeks, where President Mnangagwa is assuming chairmanship. We saw it worth to sponsor a tournament as a way of raising awareness.
So what we want is support. Borede uri muZimbabwe momwe kana support ma development to ma Premier Leagues. Rona kubatsira vafana. Mataza tine national team under 15. Inoshedzwa under 15 but wakanyanya kutaisa kuti vari kushaidzwa wacho vafana vari ma A schools. Awasi kuti come to the communities. Tinafana le sembare munomu. Tinafana nzana na nambara ya joystick. Vanogona bhora but kokuzoenda ndo panenge pasina. Then we need my sponsors.
Mbare-based Real Stars were crowned tournament winners after thumping Highgate United 6-3 at Toadette Complex. A rising sensation, Joma Aleleba finished as the tournament's top goal scorer with 21 goals, while Tinovimba Sharasika emerged the player of the tournament, with Anesu Mute being the youngest player at the tournament. Reynaud Ngwarati, ZBC News, Harare.
And now the entertainment segment is coming up after this break. Showbiz, stay tuned.
High-quality alcohol-free red common bricks for sale at affordable prices. Visit you Dow Bricks at Chikurubi Prison Farm, Harare. We are also recruiting salespeople.
In today's fast-paced world, paying in ZIG is not just about exchanging physical cash. It's about tapping into the electronic payment space, where convenience meets technology. On Zimbabwe's stable, safe, sound, and efficient national payment system. Experience seamless transactions at your fingertips, anytime, anywhere. Join the future of payments today with ZIG. Secure, reliable, effortless. Pay the smart way. Pay with ZIG.
Welcome back. And now EAA by Winky D has once again claimed pole position on this week's Power FM Top 40 chart show.
After sitting on the second position last week, Winky D's EAA is this week's hottest track, sitting on the first position. A collaborative effort by Shone, Windsor and Michael Maggs joined the chart and claimed a spot in the top 10, sitting at number 7. There were 3 non-movers this week, including Nduze Jese by Chillmaster featuring All Stars. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News, Harare.
Revelers in Kadoma were treated to an ignited music extravaganza dubbed July Festival, where various artists, including Enzo Aishal, Holy 10, Killer T, and Master H, gave polished acts.
The July Festival, which brought together music lovers in Kadoma, lived up to its billing as revelers enjoyed polished performances. Enzo Aishal gave it his all. Holy 10 did not disappoint. Master H proved he has mastered the art of entertainment. Meanwhile, the Sungura King, Alec Macheso, also mesmerized revelers in Kadoma this weekend. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News.
It's time to take a look at the way of the weather. Up next.
Good evening, viewers. Welcome you to today's weather report and forecast. My name is Baba Maketa. We had a very cold morning today with some ground frost over Nyanga as well as Henderson. However, as the day progressed, the temperatures rose to the warm category countrywide. Tomorrow, the same situation is expected throughout the country. That is, we're expecting it to be cold in the morning, becoming sunny and warm as the day progresses. For the temperatures in detail, expecting Harare to have a minimum of 10 degrees Celsius in the morning and a maximum of 29, Loyo 9 and 30, Gweru 7 and 29, Mutare a minimum of 8 and a maximum of 31, Kwekwe 6 and 29, Kadoma a minimum of 9 and a maximum of 29 degrees Celsius. Masingo should start off at 7 in the morning to record a maximum of 30 in the afternoon, Chinoi 8 and 29, Lupane 5 and 32, Bindura 7 and 28, Marunda 6 and 27, Gwanda a minimum of 6 and a maximum of 32 degrees Celsius in the afternoon. In our major holiday resort areas, we're expecting it to be sunny over Victoria Falls with a minimum of 7 and a maximum of 30, Kariba Sun again with a minimum of 13 and a maximum of 32, Great Zimbabwe 7 and 30, Nyanga 3 and 25, Matopos 3 and 31, Chimanimani a minimum of 11 and a maximum of 27 degrees Celsius in the afternoon. In our outlook, that is the weather for Tuesday, we're once again expecting it to be sunny throughout the country with a cold morning and some chances of ground frost over the eastern highlands. Thank you, Zimbabwe. That is all from the weather desk. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.
Well, that's a wrap on the Sunday edition. For myself, Liam Bernard, Yvonne Mukundani, Sibukeli Mapusa from our Montreal studio, and not forgetting Peaceful Jamanika on our sign language desk.
Yep, and we leave them watching our video of the week, which is the trending Dinoda Iwe by Blessing Jedatham featuring Texture Zama. Stay blessed. Good night.
Good night.
I want to in all day. I'm your petro. This that's never you and see me. I am trying to know that you are. No, I'm my petro. This that's I I know